So good save tonight. Fast forward to Kansas next week.
Give us another shot. Let's re-rack. Definitely not the speed we wanted here all weekend. We know that. We've had the fastest car here in Darlington the last 3 races. We haven't finished any of them where we should have. And tonight we did not have a car fast enough to run up here, and we finished the best out of all 4. So I like that.
One lap down, is there any part of you that's like, God, how are we going to recover from this? And then how impressive is it to come back from that to finish top 5?
6 months ago or a year ago, yes, I'd have been freaking out. I've gotten to a spot where I can just roll with it, and it's happening. I can't change it. Like, I can't change the past, and I can't change the future. Like, if I try to drive in harder to the next corner, it's not going to fix it. So I just lived through the moment. It's not pleasant by any means, but we got through it, got the free pass, and we were never, jeopardy going to left down again.
What happened on pit road?
I slid through on the first stop, very first stop of the race. Not the way you want to start the playoffs, but I just locked the fronts and slid through, and then was just kind of mediocre the rest of the night for my box entry, just trying to be safe.
How do you feel about Kansas and then Bristol?
Give this team another week to re-rack and build another rocket ship, and we'll see if it lands in Kansas.
Stepping in late, what more did you need there at the end of the race?
I mean, we were a little better than he was to stay that close in his wake, but I don't know if it just needed more laps. I knew that it was winding down right, so he was pushing, I was pushing, and we were so close on speed. It was just going to take a critical mistake, and he wasn't going to make one. And I was having to push really, really hard behind him to run the same lap time as him. And I mean, I basically had to migrate to his line in 1 and 2 and his line in 3 and 4, and trying to ask my car to do the same things. And in turbulent air is difficult, but I had a lot of fun.
We saw where the new tires don't make a ton of difference, even whenever you kind of stack the guys with old tires out front. Is that just purely clean air, the advantage you have there?
Well, I mean, when you run one lap and, you're in 20th, it's just kind of how this place has always been, whether it's this car or the old car. Like, if you line up 20th on a restart on sticker tires and leaders on 1 or 2 lap scuffs, the leader's going to go faster because it has clean air. It's just part of it. It's part of the nature here at Darlington. It's not like you can't go 6 wide. It's a narrow racetrack, so it's just part of the difficulty.
Lastly, were you slipping out of gear a little bit throughout the race?
It happened once in a turn 3, and it was very pleasant, but didn't have any other problems. I'd already started having the issue with the gear selector indicator not showing me what gear I was in, but thankfully I counted to 5, and I kept memorized where it was.
Each one was ugly for sure. We were just too loose, and the track was really free for some reason compared to what we expected and kind of what we had in the spring here. Just a little bit of age in the track and the summer months on it. So definitely struggled in those runs, but towards the end of stage 1, I felt really good about our car. We kind of got the back of the car in the track more, and I felt like we had something. And then stage 2, we drove from 9th to 4th and felt great about it. So just a little bit at the end, and really just a little bit of track position. So we're kind of right there all night.
Talk about a little bit about that coming through the field like you did, because a lot of cars couldn't do that. They'd have issues, get back there, they wouldn't be able to dance, but you were one of those guys that were able to come from adversity to come back to the front.
Yeah, we just I feel like we're able to overcome a lot as a race team, and one of our MOs this year has been qualifying really well, and it's kind of been a little bit of a crutch sometimes because we don't have to come through the field, but today came through the field nicely, and that's what you like to see.
Did you panic at all throughout that? I mean, was there just a little bit of nervousness when you were just running in the back like that?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just you try to stay optimistic that, hey, if I get my car driving good, that I can contend. So I feel like we have a confidence as a race team that we can get our car driving good and make it a top 5 race car. So that just comes with reps and experience and knowing what we need in the car. So I feel like we know what kind of balance we need to get up front, and it showed tonight. Once we got it balanced right, we were really fast.
We saw the tires really don't make a big difference. So when you lose that track position, how does that change the way the car feels, and what do you have to do to make the track position back up?
Yeah, it's just you got to work a little bit extra hard, and that beats up your tires. And so it's trying to work hard. This car really likes spread out open lane racetracks, and when this place is pretty narrow, when somebody can just kind of cut across your nose, it works your tires harder, and you end up sliding the rear tires to try to make time up. So it's tough to make those passes. You got to kind of be aggressive when you do get to somebody and just complete the pass, because once you get stuck, it's usually not good.
Were you surprised how much attrition there was this early in the playoffs?
No, it's Darlington. People seem to always there always seems to be mistakes, and guys get in the wall, and I feel like this place has always suited me pretty well. It's just I'm pretty patient at this racetrack. Maybe not all racetracks, but I feel like every time I come here, I stay out of the wall, and we end up with a good run, and we end up front, middle of the race. So just got to get a little bit better. I feel like Kyle is really strong here, and I'm just kind of a little bit off of that, but we're really close.
Carson Hocevar, I know you always want more, and we just talked about it a little bit. You're kind of already picking the race apart a little bit, but how do you feel?
I feel physically really good. I wish it was 600 miles, honestly, because like me and you were talking about, I figured it out how to pass, or at least pass the guys I was racing around, like 480 miles. About 20 to go, I finally figured it out a little bit. So started making passes and was able to go forward, and thought we could have got 2 or 3 more if I at least had a few more laps. But just a lot of fun. I was having fun the whole time, and that just kind of made the whole race go by fast. And I'm glad we got that red flag, so I was able to kind of soak it all in and remember it a little bit more. And
the RG Bargy with LaJoy, what happened there?
I feel bad. Obviously, we just kind of got in and got tight. I figured out how to get to everybody's left rear, and I thought he was going to kind of let me go for how fast I got there, and just messed up. I just thought he was letting me go. So my fault, but that wasn't the first time I got plugged in the fence. So it just seemed like it's just so tough with these cars, man. It's just everybody's so tight and everybody's so close to each other. It's super easy just to plug someone in the fence the way the air works. So I got plugged in the fence 3 or 4 times. I wasn't mad. He plugged me in the fence a little bit, and by no means meant to do that.
How exciting is it knowing, unlike last time, that you get another chance immediately and you can go ahead and start kind of preparing for it mentally?
Yeah, I get a few more shots. They said something like this is their best mile-and-a-half finish or something, all year, which, I'm super picky on myself. I was like, man, it's nothing to high five about or anything, but everybody around me reminds me that this isn't normal to just come in here and be quick and run and beat guys with, on paper, way better cars with a lot more experience. So that's fun and stuff, but ultimately I want to get better. I don't think I'd ever be satisfied somehow. If we were in 15th, I would have been like, oh, we could have ran top 10 or something. So, but that's just the competitiveness in me, and when 2 or 3 days go by, I'm sure I'll be pretty happy about it still.
You're known for being really good here. Any surprised by that up-down swing tonight?
Everybody's just so close, and this car is just really finicky with small adjustments. It really responds.
Thanks, buddy.
Tonight with a really bad effort, but you kind of just held serve. You feel comfortable with the way you guys survived?
Yeah, no, we did. That was just solid. Solid day for us. Scored a lot of points. Showed some strength. Third and sixth with our 2 cars. Just very solid.
Does it take some of the pressure off of Bristol and Kansas?
A little bit, but we know you're still going to need to deliver.
Tonight with a really bad effort, but you kind of just held serve. You feel comfortable with the way you guys survived?
Yeah, no, we did. That was just solid. Solid day for us. Scored a lot of points. Showed some strength. Third and sixth with our 2 cars. Just very solid.
Does it take some of the pressure off of Bristol and Kansas?
A little bit, but we know you're still going to need to deliver.
Damaged car early. Yeah, that was pretty much the story of our night.
Is there anything you could come back on to kind of do any saving grace?
We have speed, so we've had speed a lot, and I know that Kansas we're going to be fast again. That's been a really good racetrack for Toyota, so I know that we have the speed to do it. Just got to put it all together.
How do you limit these mistakes moving forward?
Definitely got to work on it. It's been our Achilles heel for basically the whole summer. So definitely got to work on it.
What were your thoughts on the first 2 pit stops, both times losing spots off pit road by the strategy?
Yeah, if we don't damage the car, I think it probably works out okay because we're able to get them in the long run. But got to limit mistakes for sure.
To gut it out the way you did, I mean, and just to have the consistency and things to go right when for a lot of people it went real wrong tonight. What does that say about how this team operates? I mean, 3 wins this year, but still, you have to gut out the places like Darlington.
Yeah, I mean, I guess in this round, the 3 racetracks we're heading to, this one was probably the not a wild card, but I knew this one would be the toughest one for me. I know Brad's been very strong here, so I mean to come out of here third, I hope that's the worst we finish in these next 2 races now. So that's absolutely an excellent night. I don't know who had trouble with this one. I kind of got my blinders on still, but we'll certainly go back and look at it and see. I know at some point there, I feel like we jumped a handful of cars and didn't see them again. So it's good work from the top of our pit box. Again, fast race cars fix a lot of things, and everybody at RFK has worked really hard to build fast race cars right now, and that's given us these opportunities.
Chris, I asked you yesterday morning during your press conference about this track being a wild card race and how a lot of people have issues, which happened tonight. How are you able to maintain that composure and still be aggressive like you said you were to try to go out there and win tonight throughout all of that?
I mean, a couple things. Again, qualifying up front in the top 10 certainly puts you in a lot better spot. We had one slow stop. I don't think we caught fire on pit road, but got back several rows on that restart, and immediately we're getting run into and checked up, and having massive almost moments. It's like this is where we've been every time we're at Darlington. It's brutal. So we're able to just drive away from that, get back up towards the front, especially there at the end of those last 50 laps, something like that. Up there in the top 3. Restart on the front row with Larson several times, and certainly trying to make something out of that and make something happen. But I'm also not going